Oh, welcome back to the channel. My name is Lisa Elvin Steltare, and I'm a genealogist and a passionate traveler. Over the last several years, I've been focusing my attention on Les Filles du Roi, the King's Daughters, and that is one series. At the beginning of this year, I said I really want to focus on Les Filles à Marier as well. So I started a concurrent series called Les Filles à Marier, the Marriageable Girls. We are in episode 51. We've come a long way. There are 262 approximately of them. So we are going to know and honor each one of them. But before we begin, let me show you ways you can support the channel. The first three keep you in the know. Subscribe, like, and notify. The next three are ways to help the channel grow. We have Coffee and Patreon and PayPal as well, which is found on my website. Coffee and Patreon I have links to them as well if you want to explore that. You can donate anywhere from $1 to however much you want to donate. All of that helps out the channel and helps grow and support my endeavors. Thank you so very much to all of you who have supported me thus far. I truly appreciate you. All right, let's get started. Now we begin to look at Les Filles à Marier, the marriageable girls. The period that they would have been featured is 1634 to 1662. After that, it becomes Les Filles du Roi. These are women who bravely came across with no bonus, no government money. They were supplied, at least their passage was paid for, but they definitely would have come alone or with a few other ladies and with the intent of marrying. That's why they're called the marriageable girls. They were intent on founding a new life and helping the new nation of New France grow. And they are incredible women. As you can see, each one of them has a story unbelievable. And they are our founding grandmothers. If the Filles du Roi are the founding mothers, these are their grandmothers. Let's have a look. And now we come to episode 51. Margerie was suggested by a viewer, and when I looked at my files, lo and behold, she is one of mine as well. So let's get to know Marie, my 10 times great grandma. Marie was born in 1620 in Rouen, France. Her parents were François Margerie and Marthe Romaine. Now you can see that she's from the Normandy region, and inside the Normandy region, she is part of the Seine-Maritime Département, or county if you want to call it that. Rouen is a city on the River Seine in northern France. It is the capital of that region of Normandy. And Rouen has an amazing historical story and was at one time the largest city in medieval Europe. It played a prominent role in both English and French histories from the 11th to the 15th centuries. Joan of Arc was tried and burned alive here in 1431 in this area. Rouen is a city noted for culture and education. And it was actually from this area that the Statue of Liberty sailed in June of 1885. Now, the church that she would have been baptized in was the Church of Saint Vincent, and it obviously does no longer exist. It was badly damaged by it existed since 1490. And during World War II, 1944, is when it was so badly damaged. And they did preserve at least the archway. So you can see in the middle of your screen what remains of the church where Marie was baptized. Just truly amazing. Now, Marie has an interesting story because in 1639, she did arrive. Her brother François was at Trois-Rivières and had been a colleague of Champlain. Her brother was a clerk for the Compagnie de la Nouvelle France and an Indian interpreter. So she came to New France and did have at least her brother to take care of her in some way and kind of guide her. Now, who did she end up marrying? Well, the groom that she selected was Jacques Hertel, very famous gentleman. He was born in 1603, considerably older than her, and he was born in Fécamp, France. If you look at the map, guess where he's from? Normandy and from the same Maritime. So they're essentially from the same region. His parents were Nicolas Hertel, dit La Flessionnaire, and Jeanne Miriot. Fécamp has a population of about 18,000. The history of Fécamp has always revolved around the fishing industry and its harbor, and it was first mentioned in the 11th century. The reputation of the salt herrings of Fécamp was established as early as the 10th, that of smoked herrings from the 13th century, and an association of whale fishermen was created as early as the 11th century. According to the late medieval founding legend, the trunk of a fig tree carrying the precious blood of Christ, collected by Joseph of Arimathea, was washed ashore on the riverbank at Fécamp in the 1st century. This relic attracted many medieval pilgrims, enhancing the reputation of this city. So obviously it existed from prehistoric times. In the 7th century, Saint Leger was exiled to Fécamp. In the 11th, Fécamp became famous for its Benedictine Abbey, which was the foremost pilgrimage center in Normandy. A Fécamp castle was built as a residence for the Dukes of Normandy. And throughout the 19th and 20th century, Fécamp has played a very important role as a fishing port in France. So you can see that these are definitely things that it's a place where you absolutely need to go to and visit if this is your descendancy. Guess what? I've said it over and over how many times I want to go to Normandy. This is just confirms it for me. Now, Jacques would arrive in 1626, possibly as a soldier, and would become an interpreter. He remained in New France, get this, after the English conquest in 1629, and lived among the native population, refusing to deal with the English. Upon Francis reclaiming New France in 1632, he was awarded an acre tract of land at Trois-Rivières by the Company of 100 Associates as a show of gratitude for his loyalty to New France. Just an amazing story. So on August 23rd, 1641, Marie married Jacques. She brought with her an astonishing dowry of 650 pounds. Just amazing, amazing that she was truly a woman who not only had substance, but also resources. So they were truly pioneers at Trois-Rivières. This was only the second settlement of New France. It was named Trois-Rivières, or Three Rivers, because the St. Maurice River has three channels that form at the mouth of the St. Lawrence. Trois-Rivières is French for Three Rivers. And I also like to say that for many years, the English population of Quebec and other places would call it Three Rivers. I myself, growing up, would say, oh, we're going to Three Rivers. But the real name of it is Trois-Rivières. And so ultimately, after the Quiet Revolution of the 1960s, we kind of began to, out of respect, began to call it Trois-Rivières. And so now when you hear Three Rivers, it really does sound kind of antiquated. Now, one of the things that might interest you to know is that Trois-Rivières is, not only because of its strategic location, was so important to the new country, but it became a very important battle in the American Revolution. And some of you might be surprised at who fought on what side. And there might be some revolutionary soldiers, Quebec citizens, who would qualify you for admission to the Daughters or Sons of the American Revolution, which is a society that honors all of the people who helped America gain its freedom. So there were some New France inhabitants and Quebec inhabitants who fought on the American side. They would go on to have 3 children. François would marry Marguerite Joseph de Tournelay, who was a fille mariée who we have not yet profiled, and they would have 12 children, 9 of whom would make it. Marie-Madeleine would marry Louis Pinard and have 5 children, all of whom made it. And that is my descendancy 9. That is my great-grandmother. Marguerite would marry Jacques Revier and have 5 children, 4 of whom would make it. On August 10th, 1651, Jacques would pass away, probably accidentally, at the age of 48, approximately. He was buried at Trois-Rivières. Marie would inherit half of Jacques' seigneurie of l'Arbre de la Croix, and her children would inherit the other half amongst themselves. But before we say goodbye to Jacques, we want to make sure to acknowledge that he is listed on the monument to the founders, Jacques Hertel and Margerie. There they are, and this is a monument you can see in Quebec City. So Marie's second husband, Gagne Morel, was born in 1622, but we do not know where he was born. So Quentin and Marie would have been married about 1652 at Trois-Rivières. We do not have a marriage record for them as well. They were gone to have 4 children together. Jeanne would marry Jacques Maugeras and have 4 children, all of whom made it to adulthood. Marie would marry Etienne Véron and have 5 children, all of whom made it to adulthood. Gertrude would marry Jacques-Louis Royal and have 6 children, all of whom would make it. And Marthe would marry Antoine Dubois and have 4 children, all of whom would make it. Quentin would prove to be, a fellow with a definite success track. He would become a seigneur and a judge. He was definitely a very important player at Trois-Rivières at that time. And I wanted to show you this. I was amazed by the discovery of this. Ile Saint-Quentin is there at Trois-Rivières, and this is the land that they supervise over the seigneurs of. And right now it is kind of a vacation spot, if you will, kind of a recreational area. And I just wish I had known about it. I was at Trois-Rivières this past summer, missed it completely. So please let me share what I missed. And Ile Saint-Quentin is definitely something to explore and visit and kind of honor your ancestors. So impressed with Marie. She was a woman truly strong. Not only was she a seigneur's wife, a seigneuress, twice, she also managed the land. And you can see by this map, the front de la terre de la veuve de Hertel, the front of the land of the Hertel's widow, which is her. And then there was another piece of land as well for her. So that was just amazing. And as well, she managed the sacristy of the Trois-Rivières Church for 50 years. So she was definitely a player, definitely somebody strong, and definitely, made an impact. Quentin would pass away at age 64. He and Marie would have been married 34 years. Marie would live on another 14 years, dying in 1700 at the incredible age of 80. And just so you know, she really did leave an impact. By 1729, the 2 husbands, Jacques Hertel and Quentin Morel, and she would leave a total of 382 descendants. What a remarkable achievement. And as always, the resources I use to do this research, I want to focus in on Généalogie Québec this time. Yes, it is a paying website, but boy, does it pay off. I absolutely recommend that at least once pay the amount, and even if it's just for a month, or I think you can buy the forfait, daily forfait, and just try it out, because you will find just some remarkable things. Lately, I've been playing around doing some research on for Find a Grave, actually, and I've been doing a lot of research there looking at the obituaries, and they have a lot of obituaries, so check that out. And I've listed all of the web addresses for you to be able to click and link and all that good stuff in the notes. Episode 51 did not disappoint. Oh my gosh, what a woman. I'm so proud to be a granddaughter of Marie Margerie. She was truly a remarkable lady and was truly a founding grandmother, certainly of the area of Trois-Rivières. And when I visited Trois-Rivières, I know my roots there are really intense, but I did not really fully understand this particular. So guess what? I got to go back. Just absolutely amazes me how she was able to carry on, and truly in a period of time when women did not have a lot of power, she somehow claimed it as her own. So I embrace her, and I am so grateful for her contribution, and I honor her memory. Merci beaucoup, Grand-Maman Marie. And thank you as well to my patrons and supporters. Couldn't do this research without all of your support. Absolutely. I'm very, very grateful to you all. And until I see you on episode 52, au revoir.